recall that many years ago, we came with a single request for assistance for our quest for office. We have to come time and again for guidance and advice. And of course, Papa was there on the 16th, Saturday, when my colleagues invested me as president of the great and honorable Nigerian Society of Engineers. And of course, one thought that the way to start is actually to go back to the roots, to at least come back and as we sought for blessings, to go on that quest. So again, come back to thank God, to thank Papa and Mama for their support, their advice, their guidance over the years. In fact, it was Papa that made me to understand that this thing is really complex. Yeah, because I was really saying that, oh, we are professionals. I mean, we should understand each other, and I mean, we should reason in a kind of fairly straightforward manner, and so on and so forth. It was Papa that made me to understand that I should go back to the Southeast and be on the same page with them, and then also move around. And it was when I followed that advice that I now understood why he had to give that advice. That things one thought were really fairly straightforward were not quite straightforward. And I thank you, Papa, for that. And I would want your blessings as we begin this job, that you help us invoke God to further bless us and give us success to the work of our brains and the work of our hands, and the work of the brains and hands of all engineers in Nigeria. Having said that, we also have, I would also thank Papa for helping in getting us realize the quest to have Engineer Moku come on board as Deputy President and President-elect. We thank God for that. And I am so particularly happy about that, because this is a case of somebody that I have worked with since 1989 or so. And we have been through thick and thin, this quest, and we have really dreamt and planned along together over the years. That I'm so happy that as we begin this work, we are not really going to say, oh, you have 2 years, this one has 2 years, but rather we are commencing the work and moving ahead, so that by the time, by the grace of God, I move aside, he also can continue the journey forward. And I pray that God also will give him somebody that understand, what we are doing, and they can still push it forward again for another 2 years. So thank you, Baba. We have also looked at our organizational structure that we have run over the years. And we saw that the organization we have been running has been focused on the very important functional support areas of finance. Finance is very important because without money there's nothing that we can do. But as professionals, our relationship with finance should actually be through the finance professionals. And if we have good chartered accountants that are helping us with finance, then we should not devote all our attention to that at the expense of engineering, which is the thing we have to offer to the country. The same can be said of corporate resources and media, which is another area of focus. Here we have department in the secretariat, and the board at the council level. Then professional development. We have put together the whole professional development of the hundreds of disciplines and specializations in engineering in just one department, and sometimes in just one person who perhaps is the head of that board or the department. Then membership services. So we had worked with strategic planners to look at what is our core business, what is our core mandate area. In one sentence, the principal objective of the Nigerian Society of Engineers is to act as an umbrella organization of engineers in Nigeria. All disciplines we are supposed to manage. And for that to find expression in our management system, either at the secretariat level or in the council level, then our departments must be such that give expression to our having a focus on all engineering disciplines and specializations at any time and for all times. And because of that, we now went through a strategizing process whereby we identified certain objectives and then the strategies that could be put in place to arrive at those objectives, and then using those objectives as building blocks for the organizational structure. We now determined that the whole engineering disciplines and specializations can be grouped into 6 different compartments, starting with civil engineering, where it all started, then mechanical engineering, then electrical engineering, process and materials, agricultural. And then we also now consider the interdisciplinary groups like environment, like cost engineering, engineering valuation, and engineering economy, and a number of other specialist areas that are there. And we say that our department should be focused on these 6 primary groups of disciplines. And that what we are doing as engineers, when we finish and we are licensed, we enter into some occupation. These occupations can be either in engineering education, or in public service, or in maybe holding political office, or in practice, running businesses in the areas of consulting engineering, engineering contracting, manufacturing, engineering services, maintenance, fabrications and repairs, and then vendoring of machinery and equipment and engineering materials. So we need a department also that will focus on this to see what is going on there with people working in these various areas, the opportunities that are there, and the initiatives that need to be undertaken to make sure that we are doing well in all these areas. And then we need to focus on regulations, because we have been empowered since 1970 to make regulations to control the practice. But Papa and Mama, it will interest you to know that up till now we have not made even one regulation. All we are relying on is the current act, which is the act that empowers us to make regulations. So we want to show more interest in what is happening in the regulations environment, in legislations, and knowing that these regulations and the legislations only have teeth insofar as there are standards and codes of practice that will guide everybody's practice. And these standards and codes of practice are we have original jurisdiction for developing them. So we need to have a department that is focusing on that, but its main work will be linking up with the divisions who really have that responsibility of developing codes of practice and standards in their various disciplines, areas of practice, and sectors of relevance. So that makes us have about 9 departments rather than 4 departments that we are operating as of now. And we looked around to see how we can source for those that will run this new system. And our first analysis tells us that the people we have in the system, the secretariat, are enough to run these things, but just to shift their focus, change their job description, and we begin to work in a way that brings fruit in the areas of engineering rather than in the areas of the functional support areas. And in the council, we expect that just like before, we had 4 departments in the secretariat and 4 boards apart from the statutory boards of trustees and boards of fellows. We are going to have, instead of 9 boards, to have 10 boards at the council level, each for each department of the secretariat, plus 1 that we are adding at the council level for ethics and discipline. Yes. So that is actually the picture of what we want to initiate. And we know that these changes, we are not that free to just begin to operate them, because that is what we like to do. The previous system we are running was approved by council, and so if we have to change it, we also have to go to council. And there are some of the changes we would like to make, but we need a general meeting of the society. And until that is done, we will not be able to bring up those changes. So we are appealing to Papa to help us, get these approvals through council so that we can restructure ourselves and have our organization begin to focus on engineering rather than on non-engineering areas. we're already seeing signs that this new government that is in place will depend a lot on engineering. And we want also that when they call on us, that we have a system that is already responsive to the needs of the larger society who we actually serve. We had met one of our members, who is the Minister of Water, and also, by the grace of God, the incumbent President of the Association of Consulting Engineers of Nigeria. And he told us that his main focus in the Ministry of Water is to reclaim the river basins and get them begin to function as intended. And that from his observation, that the river basins fell apart because engineering was taken out of it, and that he would want to bring back engineering into the focus of the river basins. And he will need us to really partner with him and the ministry to get this through. We also met the Minister of Labour. And if you will recall, his Minister of State was at the investiture. He had gone for his father's funeral, and so sent his Minister of State. But the day we met him, he told us that because of this explosion that happened in the Navy, I think before the end of the year, he visited the place, and his impression is that the safety aspect of industrial practice is not being taken seriously by anybody, and that previously his ministry was behaving as if they didn't realize they had responsibility for industrial safety. And so they have requested the Department of Petroleum Resources to stay aside of safety for filling stations and gas plants and so on, and that they want to step in and use it to create employment, to make sure that all such facilities around the country are being inspected by qualified safety personnel. And of course, these safety personnel are mostly engineers. And he also said on the productivity side of things that they would want to begin this question of when contracts are being awarded or projects are being developed, to get upfront the number of people that are supposed to be employed in all those. And that in doing that, they will need our support. So we will work together to be able to determine the number of engineers, technologists, technicians, and so on that need to be employed in this, because they are interested from the employment aspect of development. So these are just signs of what we can have. We have not engaged with the Minister of Power, Housing, and Works.
Please, if you cannot control your phone, you can switch it off.
So we hope also in the next few weeks, the permanent secretary there is arranging to let us have a meeting with the minister. We're also going to the Minister of Industries itself. And they are with us.
I have an open book.
You are 22nd century compliant. That's the only place we go and it is like that.
I think the gate
you see. Yeah, what Papa is actually teaching us how to live, how to be engineer. And Papa will come back with that one because we have serious problem of we really realizing that we are engineers. But I mean, we'll talk about that some other time. We'll come back. So these are the things we have come to sensitize Papa and seek for his blessings and support, so that in February, when Council sits, that we will get the approval to really move the society, the profession, and our practices forward. We thank you for this gracious welcome, and we also want to assure you that we will be frequenting here from time to time. So, Mama, we'll be coming to disturb you from time to time and inviting you to our functions. So, we want you to be coming for our functions. I'm saying it now. We are just starting, so we are saying it. Yes, we want you to be coming. God will give you life, will give you health, give you strength, and continue to carry you on His wings, that you will continue to shine the way you have been shining for us. Amen. So thank you, Papa and Mama.
Well, Mr. President, you have taken
That's it.